just start that. Get that little weird grey bit out of the way. I don't know if you guys on the live stream get to see that, but it's this really fucking retarded grey thing that comes up when you start local recording. And hopefully the local recording will be good enough. Yeah. Look, Alice, you have to come back to Melbourne after you're done with your stuff there, because you don't want to get swept up and become a medical farmer. Wait, what's that? That's a vet. That's a vet, just in case you didn't know. Okay, so we don't want that at all. Come back to Melbourne, where it's all nice and safe, and we can go to football or some shit. Alright. Let's do this. We've got, from the Baby K replay pack, starting up at the top right-hand side of Cloud City, aka Cloud Kingdom, if you want to be all fucking professional and shit, is Roxkus Abva, one of the most annoying names you could ever friggin' imagine in StarCraft 2. Abva, because you sort of have to say the B. You can't go Abva, because that isn't actually his name. It's got a B in the middle, and so you have to say Abva. So I don't know. Maybe we'll call him Ver. No, we'll have to go with Abva. Otherwise, if he somehow catches this cast, then he'll rage about it or some shit. So from radical online extremists, I think they're primarily Russian, the Russian team, or with other Eastern Euro locational player thingies, whatever you call it. Is Abva. He's I don't actually know anything about him at all. Of course, normally when I'm casting, I would actually sort of research a player and say, alright, well this guy has like won these random stupid European Cups that no one actually cares about, but he's pretty cool. Anyway, his opponent down in the bottom left hand side is Isahara, now known as Absolute Legends. Don't get that wrong. Of course, if you know that Hongen was on Isahara, and also for some reason no one knew that Maka, the person who obviously started up the Maka racks, was on Isahara as well. Isahara is now Absolute Legends, so make sure you are aware of that. Noodlestein, it matters not where you are. I know people all around Australia and they all curse like sailors. And it's totally true, man, but yeah, definitely from upper northeast Queensland, they're much more sort of rural. We'll call it that, and you're more likely to find people who will get a little bit more crazy about things. But anyway, so now known as we said, Absolute Legends is the team that Isahara. I think it was like a combination of them. They were bought out, or they were bought by Absolute Legends, and so the Isahara team, the SC2 players, which include Baby K and Hongen and Maka and a couple of other random people, are all part of Absolute Legends now. So you just got to keep that in mind when you're looking for where Maka and Hongen are. They're part of Absolute Legends. Absolute Legends have I think they're more like a little bit more of a League of Legends clan, which of course makes them really shitty because League of Legends sucks. But whatever. Let's try not to be too biased during this cast. Anyway, Baby K opening up with he's got multiple accounts, just by the way. So we've got like an Isahara Baby K, then he's got an Absolute Legends Baby Knight, then he's got like fucking Baby K something random, all this sort of shit. Anyway, opening up with I think that was a Nexus After Forge. We got the cannon down here. He's actually done a little bit of a different style of wall in here. Normally you'll see someone actually try and use one of the thicker buildings at the front. I say thicker just because obviously it's something like a gateway or a forge or a cyber or something like that. Just to make sure that the cannon is a little bit more protected. Of course, when you're facing off against roaches and that sort of shit. If the roaches, I'm pretty sure if it's 6 or 7, if they get in range of the cannon, it'll just take 2 salvos or volleys to actually kill the cannon. So that'll give you a totally bad time. Anyway, Abva himself on the opposite side of the map has gone a little bit crazy and has gone for that very quick third hatch there. Of course, it's definitely the best way to play as a Zerg. You always want to try and get that third base up if you see your opponent doing a fast expand, which on this map, if you're a Zerg, you always want to do that. I mean, because every single Protoss is going to fast expand on this map, if they are, they're a goddamn retard. Sorry, if they don't, they're a goddamn retard. Let me just do a couple of tweeting. Make sure you tweeting and retweeting and all that crazy shit. See, it's really hard for me to sort of type and talk. There you go. At the same time, because I don't actually have that awesome sort of micro like someone like Axlab or something like that. But Abva has gotten this third up. He's going to put down a couple of spine crawlers at the third, which is very interesting here. Getting 3 at the third base. As we can see here, we're just having a look at his vision, but as you can see, 3 of them there. It's very interesting to see. Normally you'll see maybe 1 and then 2 here at the natural, or sort of maybe 1 here and then 1 at the third base, but he's decided to make sure that this is very protected. As we can see, he's just sort of getting his basic sort of structures up behind this. Of course, the Roach Warren done already. You need to make sure that's done by around about 7 minutes. So you can get some roaches out to defend against an early Zealot Void Ray attack, which is pretty common these days. Of course, if you watched MLG, you'll have seen that Huck was pretty big with the crazy mass Zealot sort of style attack on the third base, which I think is completely redundant, and it sort of made me cry each time that Huck did that. But Baby K is not going to be going along that particular path. He's currently got 4 gates up. He's got a robotics facility on the way, plus 2 to weapons is also being researched at the present time. He's got a couple of sentries out, nothing too huge at the moment. He's just poking across with those Z lots, as they say. Yeah, everything very sort of very standard at the moment. A 4th macro hatch here from Abva. Time to take a drink because Zerg has made a hatch. And it looks as if Baby K is trying to go inside. He's going to try and get some economic damage done. He's not really going to get too much though, because of course the Zealots are going to get whacked down by the queens, and then the roaches will be like, "Hey buddy, I'm going to spit crazy goo at you," and then that is going to be the end of that attack. But not too much done there. I think like he got a couple of worker kills. That's around about it. Nothing too outstanding there from Baby Knight. He's got Abva just sort of taking up at the moment, getting that infestation pit. The lair, of course, is done to allow you to do that. Of course, when commentators say that sort of stupid thing, I feel really stupid, so please forgive me for that one. Let's see what we've got. A 4th coming up here from Abva as well. Meanwhile, Baby K getting his 3rd up. He's being very sneaky about that. Got to get the 3rd up as fast as you can as a Protoss. He's trying to kill this Overseer here, which is quite hilarious. I mean, is he just going to bounce back? No, he's not. He's going to try and come through this opposite side, but the Overlord is going to go down eventually. And it looks as if we're going to have... Okay, this really intrigues me, how Protoss players will sort of defend against this this position here. Because of course you can use like a few gateways across here, which I haven't actually seen anyone use just yet. I'd like to perhaps see the results, and then sort of have this section open a little bit more to your actual units. But generally it's sort of a decision whether you wall across here, have a couple of cannons behind here, and then have this side exposed, sort of this edge exposed, or whether you sort of do a little bit more of a wall across here and have this edge exposed. It's very, very dependent on how you play, of course, and as we can see here, he is going to have to defend against quite a lot of roaches. So, but we'll find out what Abva is going to get up to. It looks as if he's just biding his time for the moment. Roach Tunneling Claws is on the way, which is not something you see every day at this sort of stage of the game. Camera going crazy because I'm like not controlling it properly, but of course Third base up for Baby K, which means that it is sexy time for a Protoss. You get in this position and you can say, hey bro, I'm going to chrono out these double Colossi, which it looks as if Baby K is going to move to very shortly. He's currently got just Immortals popping out at the moment, but a whole bunch of Roaches are waiting out here. There's some Infestors. We'll see if the Infestors are going to burrow. They do have it. He could perhaps get up to that position here. A preemptive force field here. This guy is Baby K is a former Dota player. He played on the Dota 2 team for Na'Vi, and of course, you know, there's certain things that'll come across from Dota that will help out in StarCraft 2, but not too much. But anyway, preemptively force fielding the ramp and forcing back all of these units. We've currently got 11 billion Roaches here because that's how you play as a Zerg. You just go 37 Roaches out in Infestors, totaling 2 at the moment. The fourth base is up for Abva. He's currently got around about, how many has he got? He's got, so hang on. Let me do my counting. He's got 5 hatcheries at the moment. Of course, the Hive is here. The Greater Spire now morphing in as well. And getting a second Spire, so we're probably going to see him switch into... and he's also getting Adrenal Glands. I'm still very sort of... about Adrenal Glands. Like, I mean, it's a good upgrade. It's not as good as it was in Brood War, where as the sort of the slang term goes, you'll turn just normal Zerglings into cracklings. Sorry, continually burping here. You'll turn them into cracklings, and here we go. Wow, really nice spread there from Abva. He's going to get a really good spread on that position, but some nice force fields there from Baby K. Just having a look at the battle there. Look at that. That is some very sexy force fields there. He's going to stomp through those with those Colossi and their high-heeled shoes on. The Roach is getting absolutely decimated here, and Baby K going to continue to put the pressure on, trying to snipe down as many of those Roaches as he can. And as we can see, just forcing back the attack there. So now Abva currently sitting at a total of 199 supply to the 179 of Baby K. Now this is one thing which Baby K does really well. We'll probably see him grab a third Robo. I know that sounds kind of weird, but he does that quite a lot, especially in PvT, and we'll see how that works out for him here. There's currently 90 bajillion Zerglings out. There's currently, they're getting absolutely torn apart by the Colossi here, as we can see. Whoops, we'll go around that way. The Corruptors trying to do what they can, but they're really not getting too much done. The 3-base economy of the Protoss is just ridiculously huge here, and more warp-ins here from Baby K, so he's going to absolutely destroy that base. There's no lie about that. I do not lie. But yeah, he's just going to easily just push through here. We'll see if he blunks across and tries to catch those drones. I don't think he will. There is a hidden base up in the top corner here from Abva, but it's 3-base economy. This is kind of the part as a Protoss. Let's just go into Baby K camp, where you can just sort of go, look at me. I'm like, you know, just making all sorts of shit. I could just hang on. Just let me crack. If I was Baby K right now, I could probably do this. Just be like, you know, hey buddy, what's going on? Oh shit. I have stuff all over my hand. Oh. Anyway, you can do this sort of thing as Protoss once you're on 3 bases and you've got that many Stalkers and a couple of Colossi out. You do the whole look ma no hands thing. And look, oh no, it's Broodlords. Oh, what about it, bro? Well, for Abva, he's got a little bit of trouble here because there aren't actually too many Infestors there at all. Look at me, I'm going to throw up some beach balls with the Infested Terrans inside. The Infested Terrans are ridiculously imbalanced, I'm just going to point out now. But not enough to stop Baby K here. He's just going to stomp through all of this, going to kill some of these Overlords who are just hanging out, they're just cruising, and Abva says GG. So, it's very Baby K style, and very good point from Bind in the chat there. He researched tunneling claws but didn't really use it. I think that's a very good point. Like, I mean, if you're going to do that, you need to do something with it, because it's one of those upgrades, like I kind of feel Adrenal Glands is, where if you're not making 6 billion lings and trying to do multiple sort of ling run-bys, then the upgrade is ridiculously pointless. Like, and so the same sort of thing to me kind of applies to tunneling claws. If you're not going to do some sort of, sneaky roach attack where you try and pretend that your Jaws in Jaws 1, not Jaws 2, because that sucked, and, sneak past and try and do some damage, then, you need to actually do it. You don't just fuck around and pretend that you're cool hanging out with your burrowed fucking roaches randomly placed on the map moving around like a fucking submarine. And yeah, exactly. There was an overseer hanging around. There was the only observer for Baby K. There was only one, and it was up here, just keeping an eye on these spires. Spires is whatever. Yeah, that was very. It's very Baby K style to be very passive and sort of sit back and just say, nope, it's cool. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to wall up with my gateways. I'm going to cannon up as well. Not afraid to use cannons and that sort of shit. And then just sort of sit back. Once I've got my double robo, I'm going to chrono all the shit out. And then just say, you know what, fuck it. And then just 1A across the map. That's how he plays. And I think it's a good way for every single Protoss to play, especially in PvZ, just because it's kind of a... I've totally forgotten now. It's kind of that matchup where you need to pretend that you're a Terran and just, so sort of sit back and tech up and make sure you've got everything before you move across the map. You can do harassment and you can do those timing attacks that we see MC do and all that sort of stuff, but I don't think it's the most efficient way to play. It's very dependent on what you see in your scouting, which of course is a very important point. Let me just do some more tweeting. Sometimes I wish TweetDeck wouldn't shorten URLs. I don't know which of you guys use TweetDeck, but it automatically shortens URLs, and sometimes that can be completely fucking annoying. Anyway, so we're going to go into game 2. This is a PvP, as we can see. It is Baby K starting up in the top left-hand side of Antigua Shipyard here. His opponent is going to be the blue Protoss across to the right-hand side. It is Harstem, who is another really, really good EU Protoss, who also has a replay pack on Team Liquid. You can just go and search for Harstem on Team Liquid, and you'll be able to find that one there. Looks like both of these guys just are going to be very standard here. This is a map where you can do crazy cannon rushes. If you're up here, you're actually sort of in one of the better positions to be to not be cannon rushed, because this is actually kind of hard to cannon rush into. You either need to do you can do it where was it? I can't remember now. It's like a pylon here and then a pylon here and then a pylon here and a pylon here, so that's 4 in total, which is kind of risky. As opposed to if your opponent is across on this side, you can actually do pylon, pylon, and pylon, which is incredibly easy. And you can cannon behind here, you can put gateways up if you really need to reinforce your wall and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so if you're up in this spot, I'd say think about yourself being a little bit safer. Of course, you can cannon rush down in this bottom left spot as well. Same sort of thing, cannon there, pylon there, and then pylon here. You can also put a cannon down here that is powered by this pylon, which is ridiculous, I think, but whatever. This spot down here, this is also a bit of a tougher one. Can't remember how you do it. The cannon here, and then cannon, pylon, and then pylon, and something. Anyway, these guys aren't doing that crazy shit, so I'm gonna just pretend that we've just completely forgotten about that. Huston doing a little bit of harassment here with his probe. He's currently got this guy just doing a little bit of damage here, not actually getting any hull damage on that probe. He's going to try and get back in there and do some, though. He does take off 3 HP. That could be a symbol of how this game is going to go, but we'll find out in just a moment. Almost catching out that probe. Very nice micro here from Huston. But, yeah, standard stuff. Both these guys a little bit later on the warp gate tech. I'm not sure if Huston was busy microing around or not, but he does have his second assimilator up. Baby K only just now getting his assimilator as well. Huston still microing this probe around, which is very nice to see. As we can see, he's just getting a little bit of vision, just finding out what exactly is going on. But now the Stalker is out. This probe should not last too long. In fact, maybe... Oh, very nice. Nice micro there from Baby K to get the kill on that probe. Meanwhile, for Baby K, what has he been able to see? We saw the double gas, of course, which means that he gets his own second gas, as we mentioned before. But everything looking extremely standard for both of these guys just at the moment. Got to check out if there are any proxy pylons around the map. Of course, this spot over here is a big proxy pylon spot. Also just this area here, and of course just sort of anywhere across here is very common to see proxy pylons. So as I said, neither of these guys really going for anything fancy. Both of them actually going for 1 gate robo. A second gate just coming out now from Huston as well. We'll see what he's going to do with that. Looks as if Baby K is going to get his own second gate. So generally pretty standard here. I mean, it just sort of standard stuff for both of these guys. A third gate on the way from Baby K. A little bit of a differentiation there in his play. He does have 3 Stalkers out, which is just 1 more than Huston has. But Huston does, of course, have the sentry that's here. You can use that to block off the bottom of the ramp if those Stalkers of Baby K get a little bit adventurous. I didn't open this can properly. Anyway, Observer out, Immortal on the way. Very standard here, and as expected, it's going to be a Twilight Castle here from Baby K. So it looks as if he's going to go for that particular route. Meanwhile, Huston is going to go for the robotic space. So he's going to go for a which is a little bit more of the way that I play in PvP if I'm playing standard, that is, which is just to go for that sort of very fast Colossus of sort of 1 to 3 gates and that very quick robo. It's a style where you will be vulnerable essentially from this minute here. We're at around about 7:30 onwards when a 4 gate can come through. All the way to anywhere up to 12 minutes, you can be quite vulnerable depending on how you construct your particular build. So it looks as if Huston is going to get a couple more Immortals out just to make sure he is very secure in his base against any possible Blink Stalker threats. And as we can see from Baby K, he actually has Blink Stalkers on the way. So he's going to expand behind it as well, which is interesting to see. Does he have any reason for expanding behind this? No, he doesn't. He's just guessing. He's just going to guess and say, look, I'm secure. I've got Blink Stalkers. Blink is just about done, so I'm going to be very mobile with my Stalkers and how they move around the map. The Immortal is going to be here to help out with any potential Stalker threats from Huston. He's going to have a second Immortal in just a moment as well. So he's going to expand behind this, so he's feeling pretty safe right about now. So that is all fine and good. Colossus just on the way here from Huston, so he's going to have that out very soon. And 1 Colossus doesn't actually mean that much in the context of PvP in this sort of early stage. Once that second Colossus comes out though, that's when things very much change. You can see things like the 2 Colossus push, which is very common. You can do a 1 Colossus push where you try and actually use the Colossus just to break force fields. It's not actually in your unit mixture to sort of do damage or anything like that. It's actually there to bust down force fields. So We'll see if that is a plan here, but I don't think it is going to be anything like that. Of course, as he is expanding just up here to the natural, he doesn't actually. He knows that Baby K does have his own natural already up here. The Stalker's now blinking inside. A little bit interesting that he screwed up that blink, but not too much of an issue. Does get the pylon anyway. One Stalker does go down. The Colossi just hanging up here saying, I'm a bro, I'm at the top of the cliff. You're not going to do anything to me at all. And as I said, once that second Colossus comes out, which is going to be just a minute here, things will get a little bit interesting for Baby K, because he'll need to be very careful with how he positions everything and how he reacts to everything. So we'll see what happens here, but Harston not actually splitting up his units very well. In fact, Baby K may catch the Colossi that just warped in and does catch it. That is a huge hit there for him. He's going to be able to do some more damage here, perhaps even get the first Colossi that came out, but no, he's not. It looks as if, there we go, busting down the force fields to get out of the ramp there, as we mentioned before. And the first Colossi goes down. That's game over right there. No joke, I'm actually totally serious. That is game over right there. With some good Blinkstalker micro, and then obviously good macro economy behind this, with warping in extra Stalkers and that sort of thing, you're in trouble. As a guy who is going for fast Colossus, because this sort of stuff can happen. You can say, oh dears, the guy is attacking my pylon, and he can't do anything about it. The Immortals will waddle in like crazy little penguins, just trying to get into range of those Stalkers, but the Stalkers will be out of here like Batman with a little gas bomb thingy, just as soon as the Immortals come into range. So a little bit surprising that Harston hasn't actually taken care of this Observer here. That's something that he can deal with quite easily, but he's not worrying about that at the moment. The reason for that, of course, is that he's trying to get these Colossi out. The very important Observers are only in the number of 1 at the moment. Sometimes when I do this particular build, I actually like to get, you may remember earlier on, Harston got a couple more Immortals out. I actually like to get a second Observer just to make sure you've got good vision. And there you go, the Robo goes down. Harston in a very, very precarious position. Meanwhile, behind all of this, Baby K has got he's got 5 gates up. He's mining off a brilliant economy right about now. Sitting on 41 probes. Yes, it is a slightly behind where Harston is, but Harston needs to be very efficient with his trades here. And there goes the blink, the offensive blink, trying to get on top of the Colossus, but not quick enough at all. And for some reason, Harston actually walking the Colossus down the cliff, trying to keep it next to those Zealots. Of course, if you can keep a Colossus next to Zealots when you're attacking, then you can kind of keep him safe, but when you've got to deal with this many Stalkers, it's just all sorts of trouble town. And as we can see, Harston's still in a bit of a very precarious position here. The worker count, interestingly, still higher for Harston here. I'd love to see him just actually cut his workers so he can actually get some good units out. He does have extended thermal lance now, which is quite nice for him. Baby K just pushing up the ramp here, trying to get some damage done. The Observer providing him with a bit of vision here. He's actually going to offensively blink past the Zealots here, gets the kill on the Colossus. And while we do have double robotics here from Harston as a very sort of late move to try and save the game, he has no way of actually getting back into this. He's going to try and get some good. He's going to try and get some good kills here, but the Baby K blinks are just absolutely way too much to deal with. So this is definitely going to go the way of Baby K very soon. So just having a look at what Baby K is up to. He's got his own double robo here, which is very sexy. And double Colossi now coming out here. Things could switch around. I do like the risk of getting that double robo from Harston. It is very cool, but it's obviously still a very huge risk. And as we can see here, he's almost just lost one of those 2 Colossi that he really just smashed out there. So but looking at how things are going, they're currently pretty even on economy here. It's just going to depend on how Harston is going to keep all of these Colossi alive, and Baby K just taking risk there, sacrificing a couple of those Stalkers to keep the Colossi count down. Now this is the thing, now that Baby K has done quite a lot of damage, he's actually going to be very even with how he's going to be very even with the Colossus count of of Harston, because that's the power of Blink. If you go Blink early on and your opponent goes for those early Colossi, you need to do heaps of damage, as we saw he did pylon damage and all those sorts of things. And then he also lost, I think Harston has lost upwards of 4 Colossi to those Blink Stalkers, and that's been very unfortunate for him. Means he can't push early, means Baby K can then catch up with these Colossi at this sort of later stage here. With the double robotics, we've got, of course, +1 to the weapons on the way as well, and a third base going up here from Baby K. So he's going to be in a very nice position here, while normally you would sort of be a little bit behind as a Blink Stalker Protoss. Baby K is going to be fantastically positioned here. He's sort of even supply at the moment, as you can see, so not going to be too huge just yet, but this is sort of going to kick in a little bit later on, and it looks as if Harston is going to be very cute here, actually pulling one of the Colossus into the Warp Prism, which is now going to go across. We'll see if Baby K is prepared for this. No, he is not. The probes are all by themselves. It's lonely at night when there is a Colossus coming in from the side, and as we can see, he's just going to go to town on all of these probes here, doing all sorts of damage, and it looks as if he's just, okay, just going to leave the probes there. Not actually sure what's going on with that. But Baby K coming across, and he is going to get this Colossus. A little bit of an unfortunate micro mistake there from Harston, losing the Prism, and then, of course, that Colossus as well, warping in a couple more of those Stalkers to save the day. But this is very weird. This is sort of interesting. This is going to, as we can see here from Baby K, this is going to depend on how the spread of the Colossi goes, because the count at the moment is currently sitting at 5 for Harston and at 6 for Baby K. So this is going to be very weird as to how this battle goes. It's all going to depend on splits and how many units are actually on the ground here. Baby K actually is going to step it up with some Archons here as well, which are going to be very nice, of course, with that +1 to weapons. It helps out Archons better than it does some of the other units here. And Harston being very daring there, keeping his Colossi clumped up. I do not like that. Look at that spread from Baby K. He's got Colossi all over the place, and there we go. The battle is raging. We have Baby K looks as if he is going to win this one. He does have a lot of Zealots on the ground, and he's got sort of extra Colossi here, but Harston is doing a really great job, and looks like Baby K is going to sort of come back here. He actually, that battle sort of was very odd. We actually had the Colossi with a very good spread there from Baby K, able to do all sorts of damage, and with 3 bases up, he was able to reinforce it very well. And then being in this sort of unfortunate spot, Harston's 3rd base is over here, which is very accessible to Baby K. So very interesting game from these two players. Very high quality EU players, of course. But yeah, I don't know. Alice, you are such a fangirl of Terran. It's not funny. That's just how much of a fangirl you are. Do I want to watch another PvP? I don't know if I can be bothered with another PvP, man. They're all so samey. This is, we'll have a look here. I'm pretty sure I know who this is. Starting up at the top left-hand side of Ohana, the ladder edition, is Don't Talk to Me, which is, I'm pretty sure it's Forsen. If you know EU players, you might know who Forsen is. But apparently he gets a little bit BM sometimes. I don't know too much. Obviously, I don't really deal with EU players too much, but yeah, we'll find out what he's going to do here. Baby K, meanwhile, of course, down in the bottom right-hand side, he's going to go for a Forge Expand, or assuming it's a Forge Expand. Could do something crazy, like a couple of gates at the front. It's not often that you see that build anymore, but it still can be done from time to time. Forsen is, of course, going to go for a standard sort of thing. This map, I really like the third base before Cybernetics Core as a Protoss. You can, forge, gate, pylon, and then put your other gate down here, and then expand across when you do the zealot pressure on the Zerg third, which is I think a really good build, because you can actually, unlike Shakuras, where the ramp is the same, it's the same size ramp here, but your third base is actually sort of, you know, this is the equivalent sort of third base on Shakuras, it's a sort of out of the way to get to, it's not easy to defend, just, you know, sort of simply, that sort of thing. On Ohana, what you can do is do that sort of opening, and then once you've sort of secured your position with two bases, you can just wall this off and just be like, you know what, fuck you, I'm not going to be bothered with defending this ramp here. We've got, you know, put up, you know, 3 cannons in total or something like that. This ramp is now fine to go, and then you can just walk out the back. It's very I think this is a very good map for Terran and Protoss, sort of depending on how you like to play. If you're going to be an aggressive Protoss, in terms of expansions and that sort of thing, I think this is a very good map. But of course, time will tell. If given that you can get those third bases very easily, it can be good for Zerg. The only reason I don't think this is the only other reason I don't think this is very good for Zerg is that you can get your natural standard sort of thing. It's just sort of across to the side. Your third, getting sort of away from your main base, your sort of main area of operations on this map. Your main sort of what I like to call the area of operations is going to be around this sort of section here. This third is a little bit far away from that. Your fourth is almost guaranteed to be in a sort of very risky spot over across here towards your opponent, which is Zerg never wants to do, or in a very in this sort of secluded spot, which you can't get down to easily because of this double ridge. You can't even you know. Wait, I was about to say you can't use Reapers to jump off the cliff, but of course Zerg don't have Reapers. Imagine that, infested Reapers. That'd be fucking insane, man. It's sort of secluded and hard to get to until that sort of later stage of the game. So that's another reason why I think this isn't a very Zergy sort of map. But yeah, time will tell. We'll see what happens. Of course, Baby K did see that the third base did go down there for Forsen. I'm pretty sure I'm going to call it as Forsen, regardless of it whether it is or isn't. But I'm pretty sure that's what Baby K said it was. Said who it was. But yeah, just droning up as you do. As a Zerg, you're just like, fuck it. I'm going to press SD a couple of times. Let me just adjust my seating position. I am wearing a Team Liquid shirt. Yeah. This is the Zerg infested horse shirt. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway. Baby K doing his standard sort of thing with doing a very unusual sort of wall. He does this all the time. I have no idea why he does this, but he'll like put the forge there, and then, you know, the cannon exposed and the cyber exposed and all this sort of weird sort of stuff. I actually have no clue why he does it like that. But what he is going to do is get up his 4 gates. Gonna have that there to help defend. A Twilight Council on the way. I think this is going to be DTs from Baby K. Baby K. Reasoning for that, you're saying, but Mr. Duckville, why is he going to go for DTs? Getting the 3rd and the 4th gas very, very quickly here. I would just assume that this is going to be a DT opening from him. He does it a little bit differently from me. I actually sort of rush up to the DT tech very quickly there. And just sort of, there's something wrong with my mouse. It's doing something really weird. Anyway. Gonna rush up to the DT tech, I think, or perhaps do some 4-gate pressure and then DT. This is one thing you can do. We'll just see what he's gonna do here. Alright, he's gonna get some zealots out. Interesting. So he's gonna push out and try and get some damage done with a 4-gate, and he's getting blink. Alright, so he's not gonna do DTs. My bad. I called that wrong. He's going to get a robo. This is very interesting. He's kind of doing a very all over the place build. Meanwhile, for Forsen, he's got his third base up, currently sitting at a drone count of 70. Of course, very sexy and very hard to play Zerg when you can get your drones up to 70 at the 9-minute mark. And of course, now it's time to roach. So Forsen is going to be he's going to be roaching up. He's got he doesn't have the roach move speed just yet, which is very odd. I would have thought. Oh, okay, he's not going to actually roach too much. He's getting melee attacks level 1, which is a little bit odd. He may try and go for a bust at some point here. I'm not actually sure what the plan is, but it could be on the menu. It's very weird to see what he's doing here. But Blink is on the way for Baby K. He's going to clear out this third base. Of course, nothing overpowered about the Zerg being able to drop creep like that. Of course, all the other races can do that sort of thing. Oh wait, no, they can't. And as you can see, so just the 4 geysers at the moment. The 4 extractors here for there you go. Picks up the 5th. Is he going to get the 6th? This will be very interesting to see if he does get it. No, he's not. But oh, there you go. Okay, Infestation Pit is being constructed right now. That is right about halfway down a second Evo chamber as well. And it looks as if he is going to go for something along the lines of Roach Infester. A little bit weird that he did get the melee attacks. Actually, I take it back. I actually have no idea what he's doing here. This is very odd. And Baby K walling this off with a couple of gates here. We've got 4 in total. A couple of cannons just behind it as well to make sure that it's supported by that. The 4th base going up for Forsen as well. Just looking at the tech for these guys, we've got Baby K sitting on a +2 to weapons. He's got a couple of Immortals out as well. A few sentries in the mix. And we will see what he's going to get after that. The worker count currently sitting very nicely here for Forsen, currently sitting at just under 80, whoop, there you go, 83 drones for him. He's just popped out a couple more. Meanwhile, for Baby K, he's currently at 68, which is that's the, if you want to play a lower harvester count Protoss, you want to sit around the 68 to sort of 70 mark. That's if you're going to be doing a lot of pressure, sort of at the start. He is researching +3 to weapons as well, so I'm thinking he's going to go for a particular timing based on that, although he does have the Robotics Bay on the way, which may mean he's going to get a couple Colossi out. And there it is, that trademark sort of multi-robo based play from Baby K. He's got the double robos at the natural expansion. We'll see. It's going to be very dependent. I'm very surprised that Forsen has sort of sat back and let Baby K tech up and get the 3rd base. Does he even know that the 3rd base is there? You can assume it's there. I mean, you lost an Overlord here. You can assume that the Protoss has taken this 3rd base. So we'll see what he's going to get up to here. Getting double Colossi, the extended double Lance is also on the way. In the Changelings being exposed for the imposters they are. And it looks as if Forsen is going to really... That's actually the most terrible thing you can do, is to put buildings in the way of your extractor. Of all the races to obstruct the way your extractor works, don't do it as Zerg. But he's going to be sitting quite nicely here, still sitting at a very decent drone count, 86. He's just cramming out extra drones there. No doubt he's going to be able to put a couple of those more into the spine crawlers. We'd love to see him taking extra bases here as well. But we'll find out if he's going to do that very soon. He could take this one easily. Like, I don't know why he hasn't actually taken this one. Just checking out what's going on at the moment. But Baby K, sort of sitting back. As we said, very passive style. He's a very sort of passive player, just going to sit back and say, you know what, if you're going to let me tech up, you're going to let me double robo, you're going to let me get the quite a lot of these stalkers out, get a lot of colossi out, that's cool with me, bro, because once I got the laser death ball, shit's going to go my way easily. So very nice kind of style there from Baby K, and we'll find out if that is going to reward him very soon. I'm just kind of worried about Abva. He really doesn't actually it seems very weird, the tech that he's going for. He's getting +3 to melee attacks here, and you know how many links does he have? 38. I don't know, man. I don't know. 26 roaches. He's almost got more roaches than he does links when you're getting +3 to melee weapons. So we're assuming he is going to switch into Ultralisk very soon. He's got adrenal glands on the way. Again, this is sort of that position where unless you're going to use quite a lot of those, quite a lot of lings, then I don't see the point of adrenal glands. Like, I'm talking a lot. I'm talking as in be very harassments based with your play, and as we can see, he's taking up to the Greater Spy. We got a couple of corruptors there as well. It looks as if he might just get smashed by this. I mean, his lings are trying to do these weird run bys, but he's not going to actually make it at all. Baby K trying to keep his units alive here. Interestingly, trying to force field under the Colossus, which of course is the worst idea possible because the Colossi wear high-heeled shoes and they can bust through the force fields. And now just getting up that fourth base, he's going to attack behind the power of these the Colossi and this big Stalker group as well. Both players at 200. Baby K with the fleet bacon done. Now with Colossi, they're just going to go to town on everything that's on the reach here. The Corruptor's trying to do what they can from afar. The Infestor's way out of battle there. And it looks as if he is going to get some good fungal growths down, and the Colossi are going to go down. Perhaps. No, they're not. Baby K should probably pull back these Stalkers. Doesn't want to lose them for free, but the Colossi are now walking up the cliff, just trying to get what damage they can before they go down to any extra Corruptors that come along here. He's going to take out this fourth base, no problem with that. But the interesting thing is this going to be safe? It looks as if it is. Just more Broodlords coming here from Forsen. He's currently got 8 morphing in here. 6 million lings are about to pop up as well. Very good to see him actually really buff up that ling count here. Up to 82. That's what I want to see. If you're going to play Adrenal Glands at +3 to your freaking melee weapons and +3 to your Carapace as well, get a shitload of lings. Do stuff with your lings. Do a run by across here. Sure, there's 6 cannons just at this base here, and you know that's kind of scary. But fuck, just run past them. Get in here, do some damage to the probes. Maybe even if you can find a way past this this Great Wall of Gateways, get inside to this base here. Kill the cannon if you want, or target down the probes. Just kill stuff. I mean, there's no point getting Adrenal Glands, I really think, unless you are actually going to get a lot of lings and do a lot of harassment. Like you guys may be aware of this guy. His name's Stefano. I don't know if you've heard of him before. He's a very high level player. You might have heard of him. He uses lings to their fullest extent. At the start of the game, he might get 4 lings, but he'll do a lot of work with them. So that's what I want to see. And as we can see, he's finally got a heap of lings here, 86 of them, with 13 Broodlords on the ground. And this is, yeah, this is very good. He's done so much damage here. The Colossi coming across, there are quite a lot of those. We've got 5 Colossus in the mix. There are quite a lot of Broodlords in the air as well, and supplementing these 6 million lings is going to be really nice here with the Broodlords. It's just going to be dependent on how he engages. Just having a look at the upgrades there, we've currently got Baby K currently on +3 to weapons, +1 to armor. Just trying to blink inside. The Archons actually sitting behind the Stalkers, which is very interesting, doing a lot of damage there, getting rid of quite a lot of those Stalkers, and a really nice split from Forsen. He's got his Broodlords all split up, but unfortunately there's still quite a lot of those Archons on the ground, morphing in, warping in quite a few more of those Stalkers is Baby K, and he's trying to do... Forsen is trying to get rid of those Colossi, but the Archons and the Stalkers just way too much, and especially with only +1 to the air carapace there on those Broodlords is not enough, and Forsen is in quite a lot of trouble. He's down to 67 drones. Of course, this is the part as Zerg where you get to that stage and you're kind of like, oh crap, I actually need to defend, so I need to make units. So he's making 6 Infestors but the problem is he can't actually supplement his economy. As we can see here, he's way behind on drones at this base, just transferring some of those across. He also has very little droning across here, and that's going to die anyway, so he's now just pushing through. Baby K just coming across here, taking some shots at the Spore Crawler on the cliff, which is a little bit unfortunate for that. The fifth base just on this side will go down. Corruptors to bring wasting their time across there with a Warp Prism. And I would say that is going to be it very, very soon. Such a lucky win. It was apparently a lucky win. Apparently it's lucky when you sit back on 4 bases and do nothing with the units. So getting a bit mad there is 4 sand. I'm pretty sure it's 4 sand. Yeah, apparently that's a lucky win. And as you can see, Baby K is just going to clean up the map a little bit here, getting rid of some of these creep trimmers. He has the Observer Speed upgrade, which is definitely the coolest upgrade in the entire game. And yeah, it's all over. Like he's got. Where's the fucking unit button? There it is. 9 Broodlords, 6 Infestors, morphing in a couple more Broodlords. It's all too late. There are going to be some awesome Vortexes, I tell you what, because that's what Baby K is very good at. And here come those Broodlords. They're just all sort of coming into the same position there. That is not at all what you want. Perhaps a clutch fungal growth will help here. No, it doesn't, and there goes the Vortex, double Vortex coming out, catching a couple of those extra units, and Archon's just jumping in saying, hey buddy, I'd like to step inside the toilet, and it is all fun and games there. Here they go, popping out. Good night, Broodlords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is all done and dusted. So another great win there for Baby K. Again, just sort of being very passive, making these sorts of walls, being very liberal with his cannons. Just sort of sitting back, saying, "Alright, we're up to double robos here. If you sort of roach up at the start, we can go. I'm just making 6,000 immortals, and then I'll be safe against your 60 billion roaches. If you make Mutalisks, then I've got a heap of these blink stalkers. That's all good." So he's just a very passive player, and I kind of like watching him play. So I hope you all enjoyed that. I'm going to, number 1, stop the recording.